Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong support of H.R. 720, the Gerardo Hernandez Airport Security Act of 2015. As former chairman of the Committee of Homeland Security Subcommittee on Transportation Security, I introduced this bipartisan bill in the 113th Congress to improve the state of preparedness at our nation's airports in response to the shooting at Los Angeles International Airport in November of 2013. And I'd like to thank the Ranking Member Thompson for working with me in a bipartisan way. We traveled together for the field hearing and the tour of the site, and I think the work that he does in a bipartisan way on this committee is a true testament to what the American people expect us to do here, which is to work together and put the people's business first. And it was a pleasure working with the Ranking Member. I also want to thank Chairman McCall for his strong leadership of this committee. He also worked very closely with me on this legislation, traveled with us that day into Los Angeles, so without his support, this would not have been possible. That event, which tragically took the life of Transportation Security Officer Gerardo Hernandez and wounded 3 other people, served as an unfortunate wake-up call to the gaps in our security and the relative ease with which someone could wreak havoc on one of our nation's airports. After months and months of careful review and hard work, including the site visit I mentioned to LAX, the subcommittee found that while state, federal, local law enforcement response to the LAX shooting could be described as nothing but heroic and was swiftly executed, there was room for improvement in the coordinated response and communication in critical moments after the major security incident. That's where this important bipartisan bill stemmed from. And I know as chairman of the subcommittee, Mr. Katko has taken our work from last Congress, built upon it. He's done the hard work to make sure that it reached the finish line. I take my hat off to Chairman Katko for showing great leadership and the kind of fortitude and determination necessary to advance this legislation, to finally get it to the Senate, and to have the President sign it into law. Serving as chairman of the House committee that oversees transportation security is no easy task, but it's one that Mr. Katko has excelled at. He's not afraid to ask tough questions. He holds folks accountable, and he's worked diligently to improve aviation security in this nation. The bottom line is while TSA has taken positive measures to update emergency response protocols since the LAX incident, this bill will help to solidify these changes and ensure our airports are fully prepared to respond to future security incidents and potential acts of terrorism. This bill will provide for more extensive collaboration and coordination between airports, law enforcement, first responders, and TSA, which will result in safer airports across the country. It's a necessary step towards countering threats facing our nation's airports without placing an undue burden on airport operators, law enforcement, and the taxpayers. The shooting at LAX was a tragedy that will never be forgotten by those affected and those of us who are committed to protecting the traveling public. My thoughts today and my prayers continue to be with the family of Officer Hernandez. I hope that they're watching today, and I hope they're proud of the work of this Congress. I want to thank again Chairman Katko for his work to keep the traveling public safe, and I applaud him for stepping up in such an important issue and ensuring this bipartisan legislation reaches the President's desk. I urge my colleagues to honor the memory of Transportation Security Officer Hernandez and to support this legislation.